Have you ever wondered how giving rewards to children helped them in growing up? Can you still remember the stars you've got when you were in kinder? Welcome to Purposive Community, and today we are going to discuss about positive reinforcement and its effectivity in preschool setting. Our team went to a preschool near PUP Santa Mesa to observe and gather information from the parents as well as the teacher regarding positive reinforcement.
Magse-cellphone lang siya pag nag-aaral siya. Ngayon, pagka hindi siya nag-aaral, wala cellphone, yun lang.
Pinapasyon namin, bawa sa Arizona, or itin sa labas,
Isang araw, hindi siya pwedeng maglaro sa labas.
wala na. Wala.
Sumusunod at saka nadidisiplina sila.
Parang mas nagiging active sila.
Sinasabi ko lagi na masaya dito mag-school, tapos bibigyan ko sila ng premyo kung sumasali sila sa mga activities. Nilagyan ko ng star. Minsan, pag may nagbibigay sa amin ng mga sponsor, may mga chocolate gano'n. Na-encourage silang pumasok araw-araw. Masipag silang pumasok. Mas masipag pa sila kaysa mga nila.
What is positive reinforcement? Pag sinabi natin positive, it means we need to add something. Kaya ang positive. Kaya ang sign niya is add. So we need to add something that is reinforcing to a person. Pag sinabi natin punishment, it means aversive siya na at hindi siya gusto ng isang tao. Pag sinabi mong negative, it means you're subtracting, meron kang tinatanggal. Depende. If yung positive reinforcement nyo, lagi na lang na every time makakasagot to, mawawala na yung arousal ng tao. If kung magbibigay ka lagi ng chocolate dun sa bata, sa lagi niyang sagot, sa tingin nyo ba, magiging effective pa rin siya? There will be a time na hindi magiging effective yung positive reinforcement nyo. Dun magsa-start naman ang theory ni Alfred Adler na we are striving for superiority. Na lahat ng bata, syempre may inggit yun. Kahit sino naman, di ba, na may star si ganito, ikaw wala. So next time, magta-try ka na. That is also reinforcing to the child na parang you want to have a star.
The fact that behavior can be objectively observed, then it is likely that behavior can be installed to an individual as well, especially if it is among the young ones or the children, whom they still do not know how to maximize the use of their cognitive aspect. And they tend to rely on simply responding to their environment, thus making them susceptible to manipulation. Our primary caregivers and lecturers has introduced us to a series of reward and punishment system that is highly observable in our homes and schools, specifically in preschool, wherein a child is starting to socialize amongst his peers and experiencing the notions of how the society expects him to behave. This method that our lecturers use is what we call operant conditioning.
Operant conditioning is a learning method that occurs through rewards and punishment for a behavior. Through operant conditioning, an individual makes an association between a particular behavior and a consequence. When someone learns a behavior that is the result of the rewards and punishment, the individual tends to repeat the behavior.
Operant conditioning can be classified into four. First is positive reinforcement. It is when a behavior is strengthened and the probability of it reoccurring is increased because a positive condition was met. Second is negative reinforcement. It is when a behavior is strengthened as a result of avoiding or stopping a negative condition. Third is punishment. This is when the behavior is weakened and the probability of it reoccurring is decreased because a negative condition is met. And fourth is extinction. This is when a behavior is weakened because there is no positive condition or negative condition. But in our discussion, we'll only tackle about positive reinforcement. An example of this is when a child is given a star stamp after he or she recites.
Another important component of operant conditioning is the notion of schedules of reinforcement. How often and when a behavior is being reinforced can greatly affect the strength of the behavior and the rate of response. This can be broken down into two types, which are continuous and partial. Continuous reinforcement is whenever a behavior occurs, it is being reinforced. On the other hand, partial reinforcement is when a behavior is being reinforced only at a specific part of the time. It is best to reward children from time to time, but not every time. This is because if a child always gets reinforcement for the simplest actions they do, it may not be as pleasurable for the child as it was before as time goes by.
In conclusion, we have discussed about behaviorism, B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning, the 4 types of operant conditioning, which are the positive reinforcement, the negative reinforcement, the punishment, and the extinction, the 2 types of schedules of reinforcement, which are continuous and partial reinforcement. And lastly, we have discussed about Alfred Adler's theory of superiority and inferiority. And that is all for today. Again, we are Purposive Community.
Hear it, love it,
See ya!